Oh, hello there. Yes, I just thought I'd quickly return. I've spent some time on a bus today having a look through the actual Civitas report, which I've managed to find. There's nothing on the company's website, the one that they use to do the research. So, therefore, I'm working on the basis of number one, what the Daily Mail has said, which is wrong. Number two, what Civitas has said, which is wrong. And number three, the research which is presented in the Civitas report, which is extremely dodgy for reasons I'll go into. Now, just to start with, the original Daily Mail article said that 1 in 10 school children want to change their gender or have already done so, a damning report has found. Yes. For example, in the report itself, it stated, it may not be completely surprising then, but no less concerning that of the children we surveyed, come back to that one in 10, 10%, yeah, we get that, said that they want to or had previously wanted to change their gender, which sounds appalling and very, very high. However, as I've said before, we don't know exactly who these people are, exactly what the circumstances it was that they were filling in a questionnaire. It was done online, we know that, but we know no other circumstances for it. Now, let's look at the actual question and the responses. I teach research methodology as part of Sociology A-level, and I have problems with this question. So let's see exactly what's going on here. So the question is, moving on, do you personally or do you know of anyone at your school who wants to change their gender or has done so in the past? And the responses to yes, you yourself is 10%, which is where this 10% figure comes from. Then there are other options which are also yes, but which are lower, and then there's no, don't know, or prefer not to answer. But think about that. You're being asked a multi-layered question with a variety of yes responses. I'm willing to bet, I can't guarantee it because we don't know, but I'm willing to bet that if you simply said, do you want to change your gender, yes or no, or supplementary question, have you done so in the past, yes or no, that you'd end up with answers of a lot less than 10% yes for the initial question, and probably virtually zero for the second one as well. This is an appalling question, and probably anyone that's doing this is going to think, well, yeah, I know somebody, so they're going to answer yes and move on, which is the first answer. It's bad methodology. That's what that is, and I'm willing to bet you can't replicate that amongst anyone in the UK. Let's move on. Now, other questions. Just as alarmingly for an educational setting, as many as 46% of pupils surveyed said they would not feel comfortable contributing their opinion on gender and sexuality within school. And the report makes quite a lot about this, about the way that school kids aren't willing to speak out. But that isn't what's being asked here. The feeling comfortable thing is an entirely subjective thing. A couple of years ago, a research was done around academics, asking them if they'd feel comfortable sitting next to somebody at a dinner who didn't share a lot of their political opinions. And a lot of them said no. But feeling comfortable isn't, for example, refusing or only wanting to stay in your bubble. That's simply a natural reaction. And kids probably don't want to particularly say things about sexuality and gender because it's a bit of a minefield area, not helped, at the least, by the Daily Mail and Civitas. Right. Again, coming back to one of these direct questions that the Daily Mail has had a problem with, almost a third are being taught that a woman can have a penis, while 1 in 5 has been told that a man can get pregnant. Well, okay, but let's look at what the question is and the responses yet again. Have you ever been taught or told any of the following by your teachers at school or by somebody invited to speak at school? So, for example, a woman can have a penis. Yes is 32%, no is 62%, and don't know is 6%. But taught or told, What exactly? I'm taught. I know what that means as a teacher. I don't believe that Civitas or the Daily Mail do, but or told. For example, if I stand in front of a class and somebody asks me a question, can a man get pregnant? And I answer yes, but then have the caveat that under under the Equalities Act of 2010, that's what the law says. Then am I teaching that, or am I telling you that, or am I involved in something that's a lot more complicated than a yes, no, or don't know answer? It's the latter, isn't it? Yeah? So, where do we get to with this stuff? Well, we can construct castles in the air, or we can tilt at windmills, depending on your particular metaphor you want to use. I just want to leave you with this final question, if you like, and the percentage answers to it. Thinking about the school you attend or attended, have you ever been taught or discussed any of the following concepts? White privilege, unconscious bias, there's structural racism and sex positivity in there, and transgender ideology are sort of quite high numbers. But think about it, or discussed is probably the one that's carrying a lot of weight there, isn't it? Yeah? If I'm teaching a class, a sexual education class, and a child puts up their hand and asks about gender ideology, which I'm not necessarily going to cover, that will come under the or discussed bit. And yet, Civitas, with their we all hate them cultural Marxists viewpoint, sees this as an insidiousness of Marxist, or in Gullis's term, Trotskyite teachers teaching people about, for example, white privilege. But that isn't what the question asks. Now, it would be intriguing if I could actually see something on the original company's website about this. I don't reckon we're going to get this. However, what this ties into is simply, once again, as these right-wing think tanks always do, and the right-wing press now increasingly are doing, is simply to impress upon the government that they need to pass laws about this. And we're going to get Clause 28, Section 28, whatever you want to call it, back in the 90s, once again, whereby I will not, having been asked a question in all innocence by a child that wants clarification on things, I won't be allowed to answer, lest I teach them the wrong thing. It would be nice if these people could actually understand what teaching is. Unfortunately, they don't. Anyway, have a lovely rest of the day.